Hey there, welcome to the Treasured Wellness Show. Grab your mug of herbal tea, a notebook, and your Bible, and we will dive right in. I'm so glad you're here. Hi everybody, with Christmas in 3 days, I wanted to come on here and give 5 healthy holiday tips to help you stay focused on caring for yourself well, even through those temptations that are all around, okay? Because you know, as well as I do, there are an amazing amount of temptations. So I'm just going to run through these pretty quickly. Number 1, don't skip breakfast. Do not skip breakfast. So many women, especially over 40, they tend to skip breakfast especially when they know that they are getting ready to eat a big meal or they're going to an event, a party, something. They tend to skip breakfast. They tend to skip breakfast anyway. And that is one thing that we really work on as we work together, because skipping breakfast is not helping your hormones at all. And we want to be reaching for the right kinds of foods for breakfast. So, of course, reaching for protein, always protein, and less carbohydrates or the healthier carbs that you're getting from like fruits and vegetables. And really being intentional about knowing, okay, I am not going to skip breakfast today. That is not happening. I know I'm going to have a buffet. I'll have a smorgasbord of whatever at the event that I'm going to, but I'm not going to skip breakfast, period. I'm just not going to do it. Even if you have always done it, just try really hard to begin implementing a healthier change, and that can involve eating breakfast, not skipping. Number 2, mindful eating, being really aware of those hunger and full cues, okay? Really listening to your body, tuning in. Okay, am I really hungry? Do I need to keep eating, or am I satisfied? Because oftentimes we continue to eat even when we are already full. Why? Because it's there, it's on our plate, it looks good, we want to try some of everything, but we don't really need it anymore. So you can think of the 3-bite rule. This is something that I have helped my clients to really embrace, because especially when it comes to desserts, you might have a table full of desserts and they all look amazing and you want to have some of everything. And you just want to really be mindful of, first off, am I even hungry? Do I even need it? Secondly, okay, I can try a little bit of the things that I want. You know, one of the things that I always talk about is store-bought versus homemade, right? That's an easy fix. If it is store-bought, I'm not having it, period. I'm just not. So, and that might be something that you can also, just kind of put your stake in the ground. If it's store-bought, I'm not going to have it. But if it's homemade, that's a little different, right? So that's a lot different, actually. But with desserts, after 3 bites, honestly, the pleasure sensors in our brain kind of turn off a little bit, and we're just kind of mindlessly eating because it's there, because we have a whole piece of pie or cake or cheesecake or whatever, and we want to finish it, right? We don't want it to go to waste. So think about that. Now, obviously, it might be 3 smaller bites. You can get more than 3 bites if you're taking really small bites. So if you have 3 desserts that you want all 3, go ahead and give yourself a little bit, like a few bites of each, not the whole slice, okay? Now, that might mean that your wedge or your plate looks a little bit different. Maybe you're sharing a piece of pie with somebody, whatever that looks like. But it really is okay. And this is something that those of us that grew up with the Clean Plate Club, you have to eat everything on your plate. You have to finish everything. It can be really hard for us to leave food and throw food out. So that's a whole other conversation. But you really want to focus on savoring your food for optimal enjoyment, okay? You don't want to be focused on quantity. You want to focus more on quality, okay? So you may only have that one piece of pie. But if you are savoring every single bite of it, then it's worth it, right? It's not that you had one of everything, or if you do want a little bit of everything, then you're taking smaller portions of everything so that at the end you are really having still a good amount of dessert, but you are not overloading and you're not going crazy. You probably will also find that before your plate is finished, you're done. So just really be aware of those hunger and full cues, okay? Mindful eating is so, so important. Number 3, water in between each alcoholic beverage or sugary beverage. If you have a sugary beverage, you want to drink a full glass of water at least 15 minutes before your meal, because that will also help you to slow down your eating. It's not that you want to be drinking so much throughout the meal. You want to be just drinking before your meal, and then you can really be focused on, the sights and the smells and, all of your senses when you're looking at your plate, because eating is a pleasurable experience. So, but you want to make sure you're getting enough water, you are staying hydrated. And then number 4, survey the whole table, survey the buffet, survey all of the food that is out there before you choose to put something on your plate. You want to, maybe you have to walk around and just kind of look and see what's going on if you're not really hosting and you're not really sure. You want to make a decision beforehand about what you're going to have, what you're going to put on your plate, with no guilt, no judgment over yourself, no shame. But you want to be mindful of smaller amounts with emphasis on protein and vegetables. So being aware that you're getting enough protein and not so much of the sugary laden carbohydrates. And that will help you avoid the after meal food coma that so many people get. And you will feel so much better. You'll have so much more energy. But really being intentional to look and survey and see what are my options, and then make the best choice for you. Okay. And then the 5th tip is healthy movement. Get outside if possible. Even for a quick walk, just gets that blood flowing. It helps to stimulate digestion. It's good for your mood. It gives you great energy for the rest of the day. Or if you can't go outside, blast some Christmas music and dance in the kitchen. Have the kids or grandkids, somebody show you a new dance move, but have fun, because this will stimulate digestion. It will stimulate your blood flow, get that blood flowing. It'll give you more energy, and it will help so much for you to not feel so exhausted after you have eaten. Okay, now some of these tips I have talked about on the podcast. I'm thinking maybe episode 218 or 219. I'm not sure which. I did not look beforehand, but essentially what I'm wanting you to understand is that it is okay to have a balance with your eating when it's a special occasion. Okay, this is not all or nothing. Remember, we are not playing the diet mentality game. We are not doing that. So try to think about the 80-20 rule, if that helps you to think better, where you're thinking, okay, 80% I'm going to eat clean, healthy foods, and then the 20% is my free choice. But the very next thing that you put in your mouth, the very next thing that you eat, is going to be that healthy choice again. So mindset is really, really key here. If you always have a specific dish every single year, you know that, Aunt Mary is always bringing her famous 7-layer chocolate cake or whatever. You know what it tastes like. You already know. You already know exactly what it tastes like, because Aunt Mary brings it every single year. But if you also know that eating that piece of 7-layer chocolate cake is going to derail you down a path that will take more energy to recover from, right? You maybe because of all the sugar, that is your kryptonite, and that is going to take you a long time to recover from. You're not going to feel well. You're going to feel exhausted. You're going to have no energy, and you are going to be in that immediate food coma, that sugar coma. You might get a migraine. You might feel bad for days after. Give yourself a pep talk, okay? Because again, you already know what it tastes like. But if you really want to protect yourself, maybe this is the time that you avoid it. Maybe this time you don't. Or at the very least, go back to tip number 4, and you are 2 and 4, and you are just being mindful. You are just having 1 or 2 little bites of that. Find what works for you, okay? I can give you all these tips, but you have to find what works for you because you know your body better. So do what works best for you, but you want to protect yourself if it is something that is going to cause you great harm. It's going to take you a while to recover from. This is all really dependent on what your health and wellness desires are. So I do hope, though, that you are not of the mindset of, I'll just wait till January 1st and I'll get focused. It'll be fine. Everything's fine. I'll go ahead and eat whatever I want, just like I do every single year. And I'll just start again on January 1st. Because, and I say this with love, so please hear me, how has that mindset been helping you? In the words of Dr. Phil, remember Dr. Phil, he would say, how's that working for you? Or how's that working out for you? This type of thinking really ends up derailing us, spiraling us, and definitely not serving us. So it keeps us stuck and it keeps us sick. So I do encourage you to get quiet with the Lord and really have a conversation about your health and wellness desires. Ask Him for the how, the why, the what, if need be, but don't think that you need to have this all figured out all by yourself. God really does care, and He does want your body to be whole. He wants your soul and spirit to be whole. He wants you to be whole. He wants good health for you. 3 John 2. So if you do need more focused and intentional support with a group of like-minded, faith-fueled women, plus that private one-on-one accountability, get your application in ASAP for the Healthy Holistic Life program before the price goes up December 27th. Now, if these tips were helpful and you would like to have more videos like this, please reach out and let me know, or simply comment more down below. Now, I pray that your Christmas is full of love, laughter, and good health. And remember, you are a beautiful treasure.